Yes, yes. Please.
Hari Om, Prabhuji.
Hari Om.
Prabhuji, want to know what is Prakriya?
Okay. Vijayji, your question is, what is Prakriya? You are working on a research or getting deeper into understanding a Prakriya. Your question is, what is Prakriya? So you have to understand what is Kriya. Kriya means action. Kriya means action. Okay. So any action, anything which involves action, physical, mental, intellectual, verbal, kaya, vacha, manasa, buddhya, anything which involves action is called kriya. Kaya means physical, vacha means verbal, manasa mind, buddhya means intellectual. Actions are 4 types. So to get anything in life, in the transactional world, action is required. Without action, there is no result. Understand? So, for example, I want some money. I have to work. Okay. I want some knowledge. I have to study. So, studying is intellectual work. Buddhi act. So, I want to enjoy something, experience something. That's mental, manasika. I want to talk. I want to I want to talk. These are verbal or physical. So kaya, vacha, manasa, buddhya, 4 types of kriya are possible for getting anything in life. That's called transaction in the transaction world. Right? Without action, there's no result. So now, if I want to go beyond action and get some deeper peace and happiness, that's called yoga. And for anything object in the world, I have to do action. Kaya, vacha, manasa, buddhya. Physically. For example, I want to get a good job. I have to study buddhi. Okay, intellectual action. That's knowledge acquisition. It's intellectual. I have to study. Then I'll get a good job. Then I have to work to earn money. So like that, actions are there. Right? So for going to job interview, I have to talk well. Then only I can get a job interview. Verbal, vacha. So mentally, I want to experience something. I want to experience a new product, ice cream or new sweet, and enjoy it. So this is mental action. So to get anything in life, I need to do action. That's called kriya. Right? So now the kriya is very important for anything, any acquisition in life, in the transition world. So then we come to kriya as yoga. Kriya becomes yoga. So kriya is yoga when I'm not trying to acquire something in the world, but I want to realize the higher truth in life. I want to a union with the Jivatma with Paramatma. A union. I want to have union. Then it becomes a yoga. Yoga is also 4 types. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, Buddhya. Kaya means physically. I have to do, people do physically various activities. That's called Hatha Yoga. Or they go to Yatra. Or they do Karma Yoga, service, which involves a deeper transformation in our life. That's called yoga. Kaya. Vacha Yoga involves stotra, chanting, japa yoga. Right? Like that, yoga is vacha. Manasa yoga is called upasana or meditation. So the typical word meditation in English is translated to upasana. So meditation involves an object. Okay. Buddhya, intellectually, I can study some scriptures. So these are all coming under the Kriya part. Some action is involved. Then there is energy level transformation. Energy level work. So this energy level work is typically called Kriya Yoga in the modern day. But really, anything, Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, Buddhya, whatever it is, comes under Kriya. I call it as general Kriya Yoga. But specifically, Kriya Yoga is work on pranic Shakti, Nadi, energy. The whole purpose is to union. Okay. So union is for the sake of Ananda, bliss. I want to attain eternal bliss. Now, any bliss you get through yoga is not permanent, it's temporary. With a union, you'll get definitely more and more joy and peace in yoga. So this yoga, that's because in yoga, there is a sense of duality. I want to have union with the higher. There's a sense of duality. As long as that sense of duality is there, the bliss is temporary. So that temporary bliss or ultimate supreme bliss which you get temporarily is called samadhi. It's temporary. You will attain a state of peace, bliss, as long as the samadhi lasts. So the whole purpose of action in the world, or whole purpose of yoga, is to get some happiness. In the world, action is to acquire something. In yoga, by becoming in union. But both at transaction world and yoga, there is a duality. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, Buddhya. Manasa yoga, Manasa, when I say is Upasana or Bhakti yoga. Buddhya is Jnana yoga. So there are 4 yogas. But all involve Kriya, acquisition. Kriya is involves knowledge. So now, going beyond Kriya is called Prakriya. You have to go beyond Kriya, beyond action. Why you have to go beyond action? We want attain Ananda. Ananda means infinity, boundless. So to get infinite, no amount of finite actions can lead to infinite. Infinity is not a result of finite actions done infinitely. Infinite times I will do chanting of chanting. That will not lead to infinite. Infinite time I'll do some karma yoga or whatever is that. Action cannot lead to infinite. Action can only lead to finite result. You can get happiness. Okay. So you come sometime you realize yoga and yoga in the various types of action and action in the physical world cannot give me infinite bliss. Infinite bliss is called Ananda. So then you have to go beyond Kriya. That's called Prakriya. Kriya will not solve my problem. That's the problem. What is the problem we are trying to solve in life? We are trying to solve the problem of happiness. All of us are after happiness. Okay. Happiness is what we seek in life. I want to be happy by getting married. I want to be happy by getting a job. I want to be happy by promotion, children, whatever happiness I want to do. So this is called this life. Or I want to get happiness through yoga, hatha yoga, or bhakti yoga, or kriya yoga, pranayama. All those are happiness. So I want to use the word called happiness, which is temporary. But I want to get Ananda. Ananda comes from the word infinity, Ananta. So infinite I want to get. The problem with getting infinite is you cannot get infinite. You can get only finite. There's no way you can get infinite. How will you get infinite? And who will get the infinite? Right? So it's impossible to get the infinite. Kriya will not solve my problem. Then you have to go for Prakriya. Go beyond Kriya. How to attain the infinite. Right? So the infinite cannot be attained. Then we have a problem. I want infinite, but I cannot attain infinite. So then you have to recognize I am infinite. I am already infinite. So then you have to drop your limitations. Okay? So this dropping of the limitations is comes under the category of Prakriya. So what are the limitations we have? The limitation called I am the body is a limitation. Limitation called I am the mind is a limitation. Limitation called I am the intellect is a limitation. I am the body, mind, and intellect is a limitation. This has to be dropped. ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಸಚಿದಾನಂದ ಆತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am pure consciousness. This we have to realize. Because body gives me a spatial limitation. I am limited by space. I am only this much. Okay. The mind gives me a time limitation. Because mind is nothing but time. And mind, body and mind together give me karma. Karma phala. Intellect is limited by jnana. No matter how much I study, my knowledge is limited. So these limitations of physical limitation or spatial limitation, time limitation, and knowledge limitation, I want to get rid of. Right? Also, time limitation is everything what I do in the world is temporary. I want something eternal. The eternal is called Sat. Knowledge limitation is called I want limited knowledge. I want infinite wisdom. It's called Chit. So in a sense, I want infinity. That's called Ananda, Ananta. So now, how do you drop the limitation? I am limited by body. I cannot drop the body. By dropping the body, my limitation will go. Dropping the body is suicide. It won't help me. So physically, it's not possible. Physically, it's not possible to drop my mind. Physically, it's not possible to drop my intellect. So I have to drop logically. Okay. So the logical dropping process involves a Prakriya. Now, what is Prakriya involves? Prakriya is logically, I have to understand my belief system. Okay. That belief system is causing me limitation. I am the body is a belief system. I am the mind is a limitation. I am the intellect is a limitation belief system. For example, I'll give you an exercise, small exercise for you. Close your eyes for some time. Feel your body. Feel where is there tightness? Where is the sensation? Where there is a itching? Just observe. Open your eyes. So did you notice a place where there's a little bit of tension in your body? Itching or pressure where you're sitting? There's a pressure, right? So there is a pressure on the body. Now, there's no pressure on the body. There's a pressure in the body. It's called knowledge. Okay. So ultimately, everything is knowledge. Okay. So now, is there a knowledge? The pressure is nothing but sense of position or itching is a knowledge. Ultimately, everything in our experience, all experience in our life is nothing but knowledge. Other than that, nothing is there. Knowledge is, itching is there is knowledge. If there's no knowledge, there's no itching. Right? So knowledge comes with the belief that there's something called body. If there's no belief, there is no knowledge. Now, the root of our experience called itching, or root of our any experience in life is knowledge. And root of knowledge is belief. Belief is also knowledge. Okay. So now belief is a different kind of knowledge. When you say knowledge, right? Knowledge is nothing but name and form. Belief is also name and form. But belief is a name and form, which is where there's no verification of what I'm believing. I'm taking it as true. There is something called seeing is believing. Then if I see something, I believe. That means I see a name and form, then I believe. There's a knowledge. Whereas a belief comes from without seeing, without knowing, without experiencing. It is taken for granted. Right? Belief gives rise to knowledge. Knowledge is nothing but experience. This is clear? So now you say there is a pressure in the body. First of all, you have to believe that there's something called body. Then there's only pressure. Otherwise, there's no pressure. Now, if I question, is there a belief? Is there a body? Okay, that's where we are verifying. That's called Prakriya. We are trying to dig into belief. No, it's not Kriya. By Kriya involves doing something and getting something. In Prakriya, not doing anything. We are only inquiring. And we are trying to unearth. We are trying to open up. What are the hidden assumptions behind a belief? A belief is based on certain assumptions which are not verified. Okay. So now, belief is very important for us in life. Without belief, there's no life. Belief is very important. Why? Without belief, I can't move. This lady is sitting next to you. You are married her. Why? There is a belief that I will be happily married. Otherwise, will not marry. Right? Anything to do in life, I have to move. Movement requires a belief. Okay. And belief requires assumption. So you have a belief that happily married, because you don't have experience that marriage is happiness. So you have to believe that, assume that marriage is happiness. Then you have to move. It's based on assumption. After marriage only assumptions get validated. Oh. So assumptions, unverified assumptions leads to belief. And belief leads to knowledge or action. Right? So belief is fundamental to life. So belief is nothing but a tool of creation. It's a tool of creativity. Without belief, there's no creativity. Right? So in a sense, belief is also Maya. What we call as Maya, if I were to give another name, it's called belief. Okay. So belief is based on assumptions. Beliefs are two types: empowering belief and disempowering belief. Okay. Empowering belief is, if I work hard, I'll become successful. Okay. There are people who work like donkeys, they are not successful, but still they will work. So if I work smart, then I'll be successful. Some belief. Ultimately, life moves with belief. Belief is the wheel on which life moves. Understand? So now, belief is always based on assumptions. Right? Understand? So empowering beliefs is at least makes some movement in life. Disempowering beliefs makes you, I cannot move. Okay? I cannot move in life. It disempowers you. A good-looking person only is successful in life. I'm not good-looking. Disempowering belief. Right? Women are not suitable for certain type of job. Disempowering belief. Like that, there's empowering belief and disempowering belief. Both, any belief is based on assumptions. Okay. So now, digging into assumptions is Prakriya. Exposing that assumption is Prakriya. The beliefs are of two types: a conscious belief and unconscious belief. Conscious belief is you have taken up consciously. Okay? Because you believe that it will empower you. You are conscious about it. For example, you are listening to me. By listening to me, there's a conscious belief that, okay, this fellow knows something. And when he talks I'll gain some wisdom or some clarity. Others will not listen. That's a conscious belief. So we take conscious belief many times. Like in business, let us try to move. Let us put our product. Let us do a product in this area. It will be successful. So like that, conscious belief. Conscious belief is not a problem for us. We'll experiment and try. So in general, rule is belief leads to experience, and experience leads to strengthens the belief. Belief leads to experience, and experience strengthens the belief. Right? It's a multiple reflection. It's a loop. I believe something, it will give me experience. The experience strengthens my belief. Correct? So this will be a continuous strengthening. Each and everything gets strengthened. Nowhere we verify the assumptions. Suppose I believe Vijayji, not Vijayji, you are not a good person. That's my belief. Not a good person. What is the meaning of good? I don't know. You have only hidden assumptions. Right? Good means somebody who should have a smart looking. He doesn't wear a smart dress. Whatever assumptions are there, I have it. So what happens when I interact with you? My belief reflects in my talk. Then you will also respond like that. Because I will not be respectful to you. You will respond to that. That strengthens my belief. See, it's like infinite mirror. Belief experience is a mirror. Okay, you have seen infinite mirror? Infinite times a reflection happens. Okay, and it keeps on strengthening or weakening also. Sometimes I believe what I believe. Okay, this person is not a good person. I believe. Then ultimately I realize my experience says it is not true. My belief can get weakened also. But most of the time, our belief strengthens the experience and experience strengthens the belief. Understand? That's how it's an infinite reflection, not one. So everything in the world, if you look at it, is ultimately based on belief. All political parties, all wars, all religious. Okay, religion is belief. Religion is belief, and wars are because of belief. Political system is a belief. Communism is a belief. Capitalism is a belief. Right? Capitalist society will grow, or communist society will grow. You see, root of everything is belief, and belief is the Maya. So Maya, another word for Maya, where unverified. Who knows capitalism is really good? It'll start. People do one day the whole capitalist system collapses. Then you understand. Only one day the communism is good. You keep on working. People build big things. One day it collapses. Then communism is not good. Unverified assumptions. Of course, we can give a lot of logic that why it works. And all wars are like that. And all arguments in the office are based on belief system. Okay? Any argument in your life is belief system. Any fight in your life is belief system. We'll never take an effort to verify our belief. Argument. My is based on belief. We never take time to verify belief. And so suppose we take time to verify beliefs. Then a lot of arguments will get resolved. A lot of personal issues get really resolved. Difference of opinion is based on the belief. Belief is the root of the world. Belief is the root of our experience. Belief is the foundation of life. Right? So, one Sufi was going in a village. he is known that he is a God realized person. People call him to mosque. Can you please talk on God? Okay. He says, how many people believe in God? Please raise your hand. So all people raised their hand. He said, I have nothing to talk. Because all of you are believers. He goes. So the problem with believers is they will believe something without verifying. Gone. Okay. Their whole life is built on unverified belief. That means whole life is built without a foundation. There's no foundation, because if you verify, is the reality is there? No, you don't know. There's a Maya, is called Yama iti Maya. What is not there appears to be there. So entire structure of belief is what is there we don't know. We build something, castles in the air. Right? That's called belief. If you verify only, there is this thing. No? So God is there, I'll never question. God is there, God is there. Right? So then next day again, he says, oh, this guy doesn't talk. So next day they call him again. Can you please talk? Then he again asks the question, how many people are believers in God? And 50% people, they have talked already. 50% raise their hand, 50% don't raise their hand. Oh, in this hall, 50% are non-believers are there, and 50% are believers are there. Those who are believers, please tell non-believers, I don't have any job. So, if you don't believe also, you are not verifying. If you believe also, not verifying. Prakriya is what you do, what you not believe, or what you believe, both you have to verify. That's called Prakriya. Are you clear? What you are verifying is assumptions. Okay? Start digging into assumptions. Okay? So now these are all about our transaction life is belief. So then there are some deep-rooted beliefs about the universe. This I call as existential belief about the existence itself. The universe for me, I say 3 categories. Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara. Myself, the Lord, Bhagavan, God, and the world. About these 3, we have certain belief. Belief can be different types. But ultimately, these are existential beliefs. They're related to existence, my existence. Jiva is my existence. Jagat is the existence of the world. And Ishvara is the existence of God. So, this is called existential belief. So, in Sanskrit, existence is called astitva. Okay. So, in they have 2 categories of people. Astika, Nastika, and Astika. Nastika means non-believer. Astika means believer. Non-believer also is a believer because he doesn't believe in and believer is also believer. And both are not verified what is the reality at all. What is the underlying assumption? Neither Nastika nor Astika. If they verify, then truth will be found. The spirituality is search for truth. And you cannot find the truth. At least you can remove wrong assumptions about the truth. Fundamental assumptions. Right? When you remove wrong assumptions, what remains is the truth. So assumptions about Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara has to be verified. So now, how do you verify? It's a process of inquiry. A step-by-step inquiry, you have to assume certain assumptions, you have to verify. Okay. So that assumptions you verify, there are 2 types of assumptions. One is called Brahma Vichara and other is called Jiva Vichara. Brahma Vichara is verification of totality. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara means what? Okay. Now, when you talk inquiry, you need a reference. Without reference, how will you inquire? What you inquire, what you find, what is the reference? Right? You need some reference by which you start inquiring. Otherwise, whatever results of inquiry, you don't know, verify. So the reference is typically taken as Vedantic teaching as a reference. Teaching of Vedanta is taken as a reference for inquiry. Okay. That's why it's called Brahma Vichara. The Guru's teaching is taken as reference. Vedanta teaching is taken as reference. It's called Brahma Vichara. So Brahma Vichara involves overall inquiry. Jiva, Jagat. This means totality we are inquiring. Going to find out what is reality. We are trying to assumptions we are verifying. Wrong assumption. So the Brahma Vichara, there are various Prakriyas. The Upanishad, many Prakriyas are there of teaching Brahma Vichara. Okay. And everything can be a Prakriya. As you contemplate on the deeper meaning of anything in Upanishad, it starts opening up deeper truths. Deeper aspects of either Jiva or Jagat or Ishvara. For example, one small sentence. Isha Vasya Midam Sarvam. Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat. This comes from Isha Vasya Upanishad. Ishvara is pervading this totality of the universe. Other than him, there's nothing. Now, contemplating on this will give a deeper insight into Ishvara. Every sentence or major sentence of Upanishad are a Prakriya. Everything leads to some deeper opening. Okay. So now, there are Mahavakyas. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. Now, who is Tvam? Who is Tat? Inquiring of that is involves a Prakriya. Now, the Prakriya has to be delivered in certain way. A delivery mechanism is a Prakriya. I would call the Prakriya is a surgical procedure. A surgical procedure, when a surgeon does surgery, it does some cleaning of an area where he's doing, use some anesthesia, opens up, remove something, then close it. A Prakriya is more like a surgical procedure. Done professionally, it gives a lot of relief from wrong beliefs. Other surgery will go wrong. He'll develop some other belief. Normally, an expert surgeon, if you don't give it into some elbow surgeon, right? He would cut something and open up something and something else will happen. Prakriya also is like that. Prakriya also, if it has to be done with the precision, with the accuracy, and with the clarity. Others, the Prakriya will go wrong, or you will take a wrong understanding, and you start with certain belief, and you'll come out with some other belief, and you'll end up in some other mess. So, a Prakriya has to be done under the guidance of a competent teacher. Otherwise, the Prakriya can be installed wrongly into the person. The Prakriya competent teacher is called a realized person. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. That's called a Sadguru, a realized master. Shrotriya means he should have wisdom of Upanishad. And he should have the ability to teach. And teaching ability involves yukti, the way of teaching, a technique of teaching, so that he gets to the point very clearly with various illustrations, examples, so that there's no confusion. That's called yukti, technique. And Shrotriya means one who teaches should be realized. Otherwise, you'll never get to the truth. So Shrotriya and Brahmanishta is required to give a Prakriya. That's such a person is called realized master. Brahmanishta means who is established in truth. It's a bit difficult for us to recognize who is a Brahmanishta. Okay. There may be many Shrotriyas. There are a lot of people who can give very good explanation of Vedanta teaching. But to get a Brahmanishta as a guru, only grace can help. Because you can't understand who is Brahmanishta. Very difficult. My master, Ajja, was a Brahmanishta. Maybe he is a Brahmavarishta, highest form. He looks like a very ordinary person. Nobody, no, what I'm saying is no glamour, no glitter. Whereas a Shrotriya, you can see, you'll have very good scholarly communication, teaching, a dress, shawl, maybe. Brahmanishta is very difficult to recognize. Only grace will take you to a Brahmanishta. When you are ready, then only Guru appears in your life. I'm speaking of Brahmanishta. Shrotriya you can get because you can find out who is a scholar. Brahmanishta will appear in your life only when you are ready. What is the meaning of being ready? What is the meaning of being ready? See, we see life based on our impressions. Okay. We seek that only as in life. Our evolution level takes us to a person of that level. For example, I am a musician. I am learning music. Then I can recognize who is a music guru. Who is qualified, I'll go there. That means to recognize somebody as a music guru, I should know at least a little bit of music. Right? So then I can find a music guru. So to recognize somebody, I need to have a little bit of that ability. Otherwise, I cannot recognize. When you are ready, your readiness will take you to the guru who is in that level. Say, for example, if I go to a music kacheri, I don't know anything about music. Somebody says, sa, 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 re, 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 re. What the hell is going on? Because I don't understand music. But somebody knows Carnatic music. Sa, sa, ah, oh, wow, wow, wow. Because he has understanding. So he is ready to receive music. Whereas the person who has no knowledge, he doesn't know. So a Shishya has to grow to a level where he can recognize the Brahmanishta Guru. Others will not meet. How do you recognize a Brahmanishta Guru? It's impossible. Brahmanishta Guru. In the presence of Brahmanishta Guru, all our questions will vanish. Our questions will not be answered. Mind will become calm and peaceful. Silence comes into our life. So one who is seeking that tranquility, silence, has to reach the level to receive that Guru. He has to grow to that level. Then only he'll meet our Brahmanishta Guru. Others, what happen? If I am greedy, I want some material success, I'll look at Guru who is able to do some miracles, who will give me quick solution. I'll seek based on my vasanas impressions. If I am seeking a Brahmanishta Guru, my seeking should be for the self, which is bliss, which is the presence, for which I have to grow. When you grow, the Guru will appear in your life. Brahmanishta Guru. Otherwise, it will not happen. When you are ready only, it will appear. That is what is called law of attraction. When you are at a certain level, then only you'll get that. Otherwise, you'll get a lower level gurus. Shrotriyam Brahmanishta. Brahmanishta is very difficult to recognize. But of course, people are nowadays, because of communication media, if the people call this guy is a Brahmanishta, that guy is a great scholar and all. But finally, Brahmanishta has no signs, visible signs. My Guru Ajja was wandering all over India. And he used to go and eat some food somewhere, anywhere is offered. At one place, the condition is that to take the food, he should be Brahmana. So he's sitting in a queue line. Then they are asked to remove shirt, and this person doesn't have a thread. So then you said you are a Brahmana, but you don't have a thread. They take him out physically and throw out. is injured. And somebody who knows him comes and asks him, are you hurt? Yes. Are you angry with those people? Why should I be angry? They asked me, am I a Brahmana? I said, I am Brahmana. My question, my understanding of Brahmana is I am Brahmadnani. I am Brahmadnani. But their understanding Brahmana is somebody who wears a thread. So the word itself can be misinterpreted, understood differently. Okay. And for a Brahmadnani, there's no dress code, there's no behavior. You don't understand. Only if you're fortunate enough to meet such a Brahmadnani, where at the destined moment you'll meet. Very rare indeed. That's why Shankaracharya says, rare indeed is human birth. Rare indeed is the desire for liberation. Rare indeed, Mahapurusha Savasa. Rare indeed to get a Sadguru in that sequence. You can meet a good Acharya. You can get, because that's all skill. Brahmadhan is not a skill. Brahmadhan is the presence. To recognize the presence, to meet the presence is difficult. So there may be Brahmadhanis, but they may not be able to deliver. They may not have the Shrotriya. They may not have the ability, Yukti, teaching. They'll call Santas, Mahatmas. So Shrotriya is required. Vedantic knowledge is required. Vedanta is full of Prakriyas. So for example, Prakriya is a method of inquiry, a method of delivery. So that the gets into the point very clearly in the mind. Otherwise, what will happen? We'll get a wrong notions, wrong vasanas, other wrong belief systems will start developing. Okay. So Brahma Sutra is full of Prakriya. So there is a Prakriya can be based on Shastra, a scripture statement, then Yukti can be applied, technique can be applied to analyze. Or Yukti can be applied without Shastra to understand deeper truth. Just Yukti or technique, logic, without Shastra, but certain logical way of understanding. So there is such certain logical way of understanding inquiry is called Manana Granthas. Just now, recently we concluded on Manana Grantha. Manana Grantha is called this thing, Advaita Makaranda, a beautiful 27 slokas, very precise way of inquiry. Yukti, there you don't bring scriptures. Logically, you try to analyze it. Okay. So Brahma Vichara is there, which implies the Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, practically taking reference of Shruti or Smriti, Bhagavad Gita, which is helpful. But it's a bigger picture. Out of the Jiva inquiry, Jagat inquiry, and Ishvara inquiry are different. Now, if take Jiva inquiry alone, which is one section of Brahma Vichara, don't have to get into all those things. Inquiry to who am I? Jiva inquiry is who am I? So Ramana Maharshi gives the Prakriya, who am I? Inquiry. Okay. So Ramana Maharshi says, inquire who am I? So that he gives certain methods, certain approach of inquiring into who am I? Atmananda Krishna Menon gives certain inquiry process called who am I? Prabhuji gives certain process of inquiry into who am I? That's called Atma Darshana Prakriya. Several Prakriyas in Atma Darshana. One Prakriya Prabhuji gives it. Lift your left hand. Now I'll ask the question, Poojas, who lifted your left hand? It's a Prakriya, keep it back. So who lifted your left hand? You say, I lifted. So if you lifted your left hand, how much blood has flown into left hand? You don't know. How many cells are there in left hand? You don't know. How many nerve impulses are going there in left hand? No. Then who lifted left hand? This is a Prakriya. A logical way of breaking your assumptions. So then you start asking, who is that I? Right? So Prabhuji will ask a Prakriya. Okay. Do you make a cup of coffee? A good cup of coffee? Yes. So you make a coffee powder also? No. You make milk also? No. You make water also? No. You make fire also? No. Then what do you make? That's assumption of doership. Okay. No, I mix all these things, I stir. Oh, you stir? Then how much blood flows into your hand? How many cells are in the hand? Then who makes the cup of coffee? We are assuming that I'm making a cup of coffee. That I am is an assumption. Ego, that self is assumption. Right? This assumptions has to be broken through a process of inquiry. This is called Prabhuji's Atma Vichara Prakriya. Right? Prabhuji has some certain various simple ways of questioning that assumptions. I am the body, I am the doer, all those things. Atma Vichara Prakriya. So Atma Vichara Prakriya we can put under 3 categories. Ramana Maharshi's Atma Vichara Prakriya and Atmananda Krishna Madhurya, Prabhuji's Atma Vichara Prakriya. It's called Atma Vichara Prakriya. Okay. In Vedanta also Atma Vichara Prakriyas are there. Which is called Brahma Vichara also, there's Atma Vichara. Jiva Vichara, Jagat Vichara, Atma Vichara. So in Jiva Vichara in Brahma Vedanta can be Panchakosha Viveka. 5 koshas, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vedamaya Kosha, Anamaya Kosha. Who is that really there? Or that's also Atma Vichara only in Vedanta, in Brahma Vichara. So then also this another prakriya called Drag Drishya Viveka, seer and seeing. And there is another prakriya which is actually what we call as Avasthatara prakriya. What are the waking state, dream state, deep sleep state? It is primarily based in Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Karika itself is full of prakriya. So the prakriyas are very large in them. Okay. So now if you start looking prakriyas, it's an ocean. We need to categorize prakriyas. We need to go from main prakriyas to some prakriyas. So one important prakriya in Vedanta, the way Vedantic approach you have to understand, Adhyaropa Apavada. Adhyaropa means superimposition and Apavada means negation. Superimpose and negate. So at outright, your belief systems are accepted. Will not deny your belief system, will accept it. Then gradually we negate it. It's a gradual process. It's called Adhyarapavada. It's a very important prakriya in Vedanta. There are many other prakriyas. So I would request you to go through the prakriyas. Start with the Atma Vichara Prakriya, then Vedanta Prakriya. In Vedanta Prakriya, the way the Prakriya is given, Shankaracharya has given certain thing, Shishyas have given something, then various Acharyas have given, various teachers have given some Prakriyas. SSS or Swami Sachidananda, Sri Sachidananda Saraswati has done a good amount of research on Vedanta Prakriya. Get that. If you look at Prakriyas or ocean, try to select some important Prakriyas. Especially Prakriyas related to Tattvamasi. You are that. So like that, you can do. Start with the Atma Vichara Prakriya. Start with Prabhuji's teaching. Atmananda Krishna teaching, Ramana Maharshi teaching. Then go into Vedanta. This is the approach. So once you verify the assumptions, then you'll be left with no assumptions. Then what is there is Brahman only. Everything is Brahman only. Sarvam Kala is Brahma. Okay. So we are assuming that something else is there. It is like Prakriya process is like a stool, right? A stool is there. You play, give that stool. So there's a stool here. Okay. The stool, you can keep something on the stool. You keep a book on this or something. Okay. Yeah, photo on that. So you can keep something on the stool. You can keep a photo. You can keep something on the stool and you stand there. So now the stool is standing on 4 legs. So start breaking each leg. Then whatever you have built will collapse. Whatever you kept collapses. The stool collapses. So the stool is like a belief system. And belief systems have legs called assumptions. Start breaking the legs of the belief system, assumptions. Then belief will collapse. Then whatever castle you have built on the belief system, whatever kept on the belief system will go. So your Brahman alone is the reality, which is not a belief. So then everything else is a belief. And as the belief assumption starts going, Then what remains is pure awareness, Brahman, freedom from belief, freedom from Maya, which is the reality. This is the process of Prakriya. Now, any questions are there?
So, Prabhuji, in the research, is it understanding and cataloging, or is it about the practical use of it?
It is practical use. All of our research is not academic research.
Yeah.
You should be able to deliver a Prakriya like a surgeon. That is a Prakriya. Even if you do 5 Prakriyas or 10 Prakriyas, doesn't matter. But ultimately, your ability to understand a Prakriya, deliver a Prakriya, and get the result, right, is important. It's like surgery is successful, but patient is dead. It won't work there. If you go through some Prakriya, people should be relieved. Okay, my belief system, wrong belief is gone. They should not come out with some other disease. Research should be result oriented. Research should be focused on removing belief systems, applications. So the question is, Prakriya is beyond action. Yes, the question, what is the question? Can you tell me the question clarity, please? Prakriya is, there is some question here. Prakriya is beyond action, you said. Surgery is still action. Logic is still an intellectual action. Okay. See, this thing is, surgery is an action. Okay. Logic is also an action. So the question is saying Prakriya is beyond action. Okay. Knowledge is an action because I want to acquire something. Okay. I'll do something to acquire. Doing is there. I study some books and research. Prakriya also, some logic is, application of logic is there, but not to gain anything. It's actually dropping. In that sense, when you say Kriya, I do something to gain something. If I do something to lose something, then what is it called? I am actually, Prakriya is, I am doing something not to gain anything, to verify something, where in the process, whatever assumptions I hold, whatever wrong beliefs I hold, I am trying to lose. I'm not trying to gain anything. In that sense, Prakriya is going beyond action. Action is always to gain something. Intellectual action is to gain some knowledge. Logic is there to remove wrong understanding. In that sense, going beyond Kriya. Does that answer your question? Okay.
So it's using the intellect only, but then ultimately
you are not gaining anything.
Yeah, it takes you to some place.
It doesn't take you to some place. Yeah. It is recognize you what you are here and now. You are not gaining anything. You cannot gain yourself. You are the infinite self. So you're losing wrong understanding about yourself. In that sense, Kriya is to gain something. Prakriya is to lose something which you don't have, which are wrong assumptions. So the name itself is, the question is, the name itself is Prakriya. Prakriya means, pra means beyond, higher than Kriya. Beyond Kriya. Prakriya. Not Kriya, it's not about not Kriya. Not Kriya is called Akriya. Prakriya is beyond Kriya. Okay.
And how the system has evolved,
how the system has evolved means?
How the Prakriya itself has evolved.
How the system of Prakriya has evolved. See, the enquiry, okay, is very natural for the children. Our child is very curious, right? The children are very inquisitive and their questions are innocent. And the inquiry is natural. The child will ask, why the sun is giving light? Child has a curiosity. Okay. So, and my mother used to say, why the crow is making sound like that? Ka, ka, ka. What answer he'll give? The inquiry, possibly, the fascination and nature of universe was for the humankind, maybe was uh, led to inquiry. So, I believe, again, it's a belief that self-inquiry was possibly the most ancient or ancient system, because ultimately self-inquiry may be very fundamental in the system. It's a direct path, direct process for realization. It's called direct path, Atma Vichara. Now, as human being became, and probably very direct inquiry led to a realization. So self-inquiry, the Ramana Maharshi, Atma Krishna means whatever process I give, Vichara, was probably a most ancient system. Because inquiry is natural for the innocent. Civilization was innocent, and deeper inquiry and understanding more natural. So self-inquiry, I think, is beliefs long. Now, over a period of time, human mind became more complicated. Okay. And what is direct? It doesn't work. Because mind itself is so complicated. Then you have to bring in other things, reference, belief systems. That's where Shastra Vichara or everything else came. That's what I'm saying. So now human being mind has a belief system about God. Then Bhakti came. So there are various systems came, which are more complicated or more higher structures compared to simple direct self-inquiry. So now a Brahma Vichara and Atma Vichara, there's a difference. Atma Vichara is inquiring about who am I. Brahma Vichara is inquiring about Brahman. To inquire into Brahman, I can't do, because universe, I can't go deeper. I need a reference. For example, to understand sun is going around the moon or moon is going around, I can't do. I have to take science as reference. So that's why we have to take Shastra Vichara as reference. Now, when you take Shastra Vichara reference, then you have to have Shraddha, faith. Shastras are true. Right? So it is between Shastra, faith. So faith-based system. So then Atma Vichara is logic-based system. There's no faith required. Shastra faith is not required. A pure logic, a clear logic will help you. So probably Atma Vichara will appeal to the modern generation and newer younger generation, because people are more logic oriented. But of course, some amount of good amount of faith in Shraddha sculptures will help them. But finally, Atma Vichara maybe today's modern generation may accept more easily. Does it answer your question?
And how did you start adapting the Prakriya?
How did I get into this Prakriya business? Okay, I had many years of yoga background. Or the question is, how did I get into this Prakriya business? Right? I, from childhood, I had a good amount of intense yoga practices. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. From my good teacher, by my good teacher called Shanai. He gave whatever best he can to the ability. He was a disciple of, I forgot his name. Okay. He gave us a good. Yeah. Raghavan Swami. Right. Malladi Swami. His name Malladi Swami. Right. He was there. He gave us a good grounding and Vega. Many years, maybe 10, 15 years, regular practice of yoga, asana, all this gave me a good amount of understanding of life and the mind and all. Mind didn't become silent. It was noisy. Not very high noisy, but still noisy. So that's where I, then I joined work, where work I used to do as a offering to the universe service, became Karma Yoga. In work, I was an engineer, but my job was to analyze the EMI, EMC, electromagnetic interference and noise. That time, the subject was very nascent. We didn't have good people with the understanding of deeper aspects of noise in electronic circuit. As can very noise will appear suddenly somewhere, randomly. Okay, and the noise was a nuisance. The systems will collapse, behave randomly. Very complex telecom systems. That was a challenge of reducing noise, and nobody wants to take up that job. It's very difficult. We can't predict where is the noise, when it will come, how to reduce noise. For me, after my MTech in IIT, I got into that job of modeling noise, understanding noise, how to reduce noise. I had a deeper insight in noise, which was requires a lot of patience, observation, trying to solve the problem. So as I was doing that, then a question came to me. Okay, I am able to reduce the noise, find about the noise, random noise. Why not work here? There's also noise here, mental noise. For me, it appeared like a similar. There's an electronic circuit is there. There's a which is hardware. There's an electronic circuit. There's a circuit here. It's a biological circuit called brain. There is noise there. There's a signal there. Here also thoughts are there. There's noise there. There's a noise here. So nervous system and spinal cord appear to be more like a electronic system. Just like I used to observe that noise. I used to sit at home and gradually observe what's happening within to reduce the noise. Nowhere anything else was there in my mind, only to get rid of noise here. And I didn't know all this meditation and all. I was just patiently observing what's happening inside. That led to gradual breakthroughs. My model is my whole engineering background, professional background. I was able to relate to my nervous system and my yoga background. I started my own models. And I had very simple and silly questions, trivial questions, but which are very fun. Who makes a cup of coffee? When I lift my hand, where does that signal that I lift my hand? It comes in picture. Simple questions like this. So that all had a great breakthrough in my life. Great understanding. But still, I didn't know that who am I inquiry, I didn't know. So that led to the just simple process of observation, inner understanding. I used to sit hours together. We used to work morning to 9 to 8 o'clock in the office, even 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I used to observe. That observation is called witnessing. I didn't know at that time. Witnessing in the term witnessing and all, I learned later only. It's called witnessing is a fundamental thing I didn't know. For me, observation. Just like I observe electronic circuit, noise is there. Here also noise is coming. Gradually, I started understanding. The noise is because of I thought, observation. How to get rid of I thought is my inquiry. That brought a lot of deep inner transformation in me. And I met my master Ajja. Yeah, he asked me to inquire who am I. That led to a deeper inner breakthrough. Then I understood Ramana Maharshi is teaching like that. Atma is teaching, Vedanta teaching is like that. It's like that. There got other references. Then many people, students started coming. So for them teaching purpose, I had to take up some reference and try to teach. Basically, it started with the inquiry, a professional inquiry translated to personal inquiry. Who am? What is this noise? Gradually, my engineering mind, the process of engineering, I started seeing the process in this engineering process, the engineering processes I saw in Vedanta texts and all these processes. I was basically professional life and spiritual life and personal life. I started my own way of understanding life. Any questions? So basically, if you do who am I inquiry, you realize that whatever you called as I thought, whatever you call I am, is just based on assumptions. And there's no basis for the assumptions. We develop sense of selfhood, myself, based on the interaction in society, based on the people, how they interact with me, by cultural conditioning, societal conditioning, and religious conditioning. I should develop a sense of myself and about the world. And all these are assumptions. There's no basis for the assumption. As you start inquiring about the assumptions, the assumption will disappear. And what remains is the infinite self. It's your true nature. Actually, there are not many inquiries also required. A couple of fundamental inquiries like there's no, I mean, it's not like I have to go through all inquiries in life. A simple question: who makes a cup of coffee will break your head. A simple question: who lifted my left hand will make you. A simple prakriyas are sufficient to blow up your concept of selfhood. It's not that I have to have a lot of prakriyas. It's interesting to see various prakriyas. Look at them, they approach them. Right? There are not many things are required. Prakriyas, some what is it? Avastadaya prakriya, 3 states of consciousness, is very simple to understand. Selfhood is the falsehood of me, ego. For the purpose of interesting, I mean, it's like you can play around with a lot of prakriyas, all right? See, each of them will lead to uprooting the sense of self, uprooting the sense of the reality of the world, uprooting the sense of I am separate from Ishvara. So ultimately, you realize I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. You realize Sarvam Kalida Brahman, the whole world is Brahman. Brahman alone is the reality. That realization will lead. Brahman means pure awareness, non-dual. The mind will become peace. What is the ultimate result of inquiry? Parashantim adhigacchati. Shanti means peace. Parashanti means transcendental peace. The peace is 2 types. I get something, I'll become peaceful sometime. After that, I'll become restless. It's a transactional level. But parashanti or transcendental peace is neither comes nor goes. When you understand the falsehood of the ego self, individual self, and falsehood of the reality of the universe, your belief system starts collapsing. Then what remains? You recognize your true nature is infinite self, Brahman. You will not get Brahman. You are the infinite self. Then what you realize is parashanti, transcendental peace. The whole purpose of spiritual inquiry is to get that transcendental peace, parashanti. It's transcendental because it doesn't come and go. It's your nature. Everything what comes and goes is temporary. Parashanti madhigaji. And when will it happen? Vidyate hridaya grantihi, shidyate sarva samshaya, tasmin dashte paravare. Vidyate hridaya grantihi. Vidyate means granti is a knot. Knot of the heart has to be broken. Knot of the heart is the self, the pure awareness, which is consciousness, is identified with the body. The consciousness and matter appear to be tied together. That's the granti. The consciousness has a different nature. The matter has a different nature. They're opposite. They're like oil and water. They can never mix. But in me, or individual, the consciousness and matter seems to be mixed up. Seems to be mixed up, not really mixed up. And the seeming mix-up is a granti, is ignorance. It's seeming, apparent, not real. Right? When I say apparent, when I'm sitting in a train, my train happens to be moving. But really the next train is moving, but my train happens to be moving. There is a superimposition which is happening. The superimposition matter and consciousness is getting happened. There's no reality of the superimposition. So that unreal thing is called ego. And that seems to be our selfhood. So to inquire into this, then vidyate hridaya grantihi, that ego which binds matter, jiva, Chaitanya and Jada gets dropped. Vidyadharvegam. Chidyade sarva samshayaha. All doubts will go of the reality. Why am I? Will be clear. Tasmin drashte paravare. Para avare. In the para means avare means in the world. Para means Maya. Maya, belief. So, Tasmin means Atma or Brahman, recognizing Brahman. All ultimately what you get is Parashanti, supreme peace or transcendental peace. That's the purpose of self-inquiry. So, your research should be, those who go through whatever work you have done should get Parashanti. If they don't get Parashanti, you will not, your research is unsuccessful. your research, you will be awarded your whatever the research qualification if those who go through a prakriya, if they get Parashanti. We'll find out, we'll do a survey. Have you got Parashanti or not? Ultimately, prakriya should be result oriented. Prakriya should be focused. A proper delivery mechanism is important. So you have to focus on what is proper delivery mechanism. How somebody can learn the proper delivery. Right? Ultimately, it's a surgical procedure.
How is Prakriya different from Shaktipat, the initiations?
Oh, so Prakriya is different from Shaktipat. Okay. So there is a